We are now moving on. We are moving on to step 4. And step 4 of our big-eyed bird drawing is that we're going to add value or shading to our drawing. So you want to open up your bird, Procreate, and then open up your layers and make sure that your alpha lock is turned on for each layer. I'm going to start with my top layer and go to that. And what I'm going to do is, should I turn them off? Well, it doesn't really matter. If I turn that off, I'll leave this one on and turn that one off. Okay, so I see I forgot to add an extra layer for that one there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go in and I'm going to add my my value coloring. Okay, so I'm going to go to my brush. I'm going to go to touch ups and I'm going to touch noise. Make sure that one's turned on. I'm going to start with my green. So I'm going to touch here and I'm going to make it a little darker green. And then I'm just going to go in on one side and add the shading. Oops. I want to be on this layer. There we go. Okay, and it's not really like dark, but just enough to add a little bit of shading. And I'm putting it all on the right side. You can put it on whatever side you want it to go on. Okay, so now I'm going to come to my purple and I'm going to make it a little darker and go in and add the purple shading. Okay, and then move down to my bird here and do the same thing. And I don't know if you can tell with this camera that there is shading there. And it's not supposed to be extremely dark. It's supposed to be just a hint. Okay. So that's my purple. So I'm going to turn that off and now I'm going to go to my blue. And hold my finger down to color pick and make that a little darker shade there. Enlarge it enough for me to see it. Oops. I'm on this one. There we go. When that happens, it just lets you know that you're on the wrong layer. Okay. And that looks good. And I think I have one more. Yep. So if you make it bigger, it's easier to see, it's easier to manipulate. Okay. And I think I need to put some right here. Just a little bit. Okay, go back to my layers. Turn layer 6 off, turn layer 5 on, and make sure I'm on the layer. Color pick, choose a darker pink, and then enlarge. And this is looking really nice. Sorry about the bells. Okay, so the next layer is layer 4. I'm going to turn that one on and turn that layer off. Now this one's going to take a lot of work, so I'm going to pause right here for a minute and I will be back. Okay, we're going to see if we can get through this pretty quickly. Oops, undo. There we go. Make it a little darker. All right, so these need to be really big. And we're going to go down the right side. Okay, move to the next one. Make it big. And it might be hard for you to see the shading on this one. Okay, and then we have these three. All right, so there we go with that. And then the last thing to do would be the eyes, is to add a little bit of off-white to the eyes. So for this, I'm going to go ahead and turn on everything. And now you can see the shading a lot better on the birds. And the last thing to shade would be the eyes. And so if I go to the eyes and touch the eyeball, touch the white, and just go a little shade darker, and then we can come in here and add just a touch of shading. And I mean just a touch, it doesn't take much. All right, so that's it for this step. So now what you want to do is you want to go ahead and save this as a Procreate in your Google Drive and also add it to your stack. And then tomorrow we're going to talk about duplicating this and creating 2 different environments.